This is the story of a woman who uses her sugar daddy's money to provide a good life for her husband. However, everything unravels when she becomes pregnant. Will her husband forgive her and continue their marriage, or will he divorce her? Hello everyone, and welcome to my amazing channel. Today, we'll dive into another interesting and popular Nigerian movie. It's not your usual story, so stay tuned for all the drama, twists, and turns. The movie begins with a couple, Adrian and his wife Samantha. Adrian is seen setting the table for them when Samantha walks in with a senator. They are kissing and hugging, unaware that Adrian is watching. Shocked and confused, Adrian demands an explanation. Samantha tearfully confesses that the senator has been financing their lavish lifestyle. The next day, Samantha invites her friend Elizabeth over and explains the situation. Elizabeth scolds her for bringing another man into their home, but Samantha insists it was unintentional, as she didn't know Adrian had returned from his trip. Samantha expresses her fear of losing her marriage, and Elizabeth advises her to stay calm and hope for forgiveness. Later that night, Samantha calls Elizabeth again, worried because Adrian hasn't returned home. She explains that he never stays out this late and fears he may not come back. She contacts Adrian's friends, but none have seen him. The next morning, Samantha gets ready to go out while talking to Kate on the phone. As she opens the door, her mother-in-law arrives unexpectedly. Samantha quickly puts her bag aside and welcomes her in. Afterward, she visits one of Adrian's friends, who admits he hasn't seen Adrian either. He asks if they fought, and Samantha confirms they did. Back at home, Samantha appears worried. Her mother-in-law notices and asks what's wrong, but Samantha denies anything is amiss. After some persuasion, Samantha confesses that she upset Adrian by selling his land without informing him. Her mother-in-law scolds her for acting without consulting her husband. 3 days later, Adrian finally returns home, where his friend and mother confront him about his absence. His mother advises him to appreciate Samantha for making bold decisions for their family. Adrian, still hurt by Samantha's lies, says nothing to clarify the situation. The following day, Adrian begins packing his belongings, announcing that he's leaving the marriage. Samantha begs him to stay, even threatening to harm herself if he leaves. Adrian remains unmoved, but Samantha insists she only did what she thought was necessary for their betterment. A flashback reveals the beginning of their relationship. Adrian proposed to Samantha, who eagerly shared the news with her father. Her father disapproved, citing Adrian's inability to provide a stable life. He warned Samantha not to repeat his mistakes of marrying for love without financial security. Despite his warnings, Samantha believed love was enough. In another scene, Samantha and Elizabeth discuss the proposal. Elizabeth advises her to consider the decision carefully to avoid future regrets. Samantha, however, insists that love is all they need. Elizabeth suggests Samantha get a job or find another man to support her, but Samantha refuses to betray Adrian. This led to Samantha meeting the senator. At their first encounter, he offered her $7 million for being beautiful. Samantha confessed that she was engaged, but admitted her fiancé didn't have much. The senator agreed to support them financially. Samantha later shared the news with Elizabeth, marveling at how the senator had changed her life. Samantha lied to her father, claiming Adrian had secured a high-paying job, which convinced him to accept Adrian. However, Adrian discovered the truth and pleaded with Samantha to stop seeing the senator. She agreed reluctantly, but the senator's calls continued, raising Adrian's suspicions. One morning, Adrian resigned from his job, unable to continue working at a company linked to the senator's influence. Samantha was furious, questioning how they would survive. Adrian reassured her, saying he would find another job, but Samantha felt the weight of their financial struggles. She worried about their empty kitchen, her father's upkeep, and the fear of her father discovering Adrian's resignation. Samantha broke her promise to her husband, Adrian, and went to see the senator again. The senator gave her money and assured her he would help Adrian secure another job. Samantha was elated and shared this with Elizabeth, who chastised her for going back to the senator. Elizabeth insisted it was wrong and urged Samantha to stop, but Samantha argued that she had no choice since Adrian was now jobless. Elizabeth, determined to protect Samantha's marriage, confronted the senator herself, demanding that he leave Samantha alone. However, the senator refused, claiming that Samantha wasn't complaining and reminding Elizabeth that she had already been paid off, making it none of her business. At home that night, Samantha suggested to Adrian that they travel to Paris. Adrian grew angry, suspecting the senator's involvement in planning the trip. He accused Samantha of continuing her relationship with the senator and stormed out, frustrated with her refusal to change. Samantha later visited her father and brought him an envelope, claiming it was from Adrian. Her father expressed his gratitude. Meanwhile, Elizabeth began feeding Adrian information about Samantha's continued involvement with the senator. When Adrian questioned Elizabeth's motives, she explained that she only wanted Samantha to stop. That evening, Adrian received a call informing him that his mother was unwell. While he was upstairs preparing to leave, Samantha called Elizabeth, revealing she was heading to the senator's place. Elizabeth questioned her decision, but Samantha brushed off her concerns. After Adrian came downstairs, Elizabeth informed him that Samantha was indeed meeting the senator. When Samantha returned home, she found her mother-in-law waiting. Samantha assured her that she was working on her issues with Adrian. However, Adrian confronted Samantha, accusing her of visiting the senator. He even revealed the name of the hotel where she spent the day with the senator, leaving Samantha shocked and unable to deny his claims. The next morning, Adrian took his mother to the hospital. When Samantha offered to assist, Adrian dismissed her coldly, sarcastically suggesting she shouldn't miss her appointment with the senator. Upset, Samantha confided in Elizabeth, lamenting how Adrian always seemed to know her movements. She was unaware that Elizabeth was betraying her trust. Later, Elizabeth visited the senator again, attempting to pursue her own agenda with him. However, the senator rejected her advances. That evening, Adrian's mother asked the couple about their ongoing issues, but they both denied anything was wrong. She pleaded with them to resolve their differences and restore the love in their marriage. The next morning, the senator called Samantha, asking when she would visit him. Samantha explained that her mother-in-law was around and that Adrian was suspicious of her every move. She promised to visit him the following day. Samantha met with the senator, and they resumed their affair. She confided in him about Adrian's growing suspicions, which prompted the senator to recall a conversation with Elizabeth. He began to suspect Elizabeth's involvement in exposing their relationship. When Samantha returned home, she and Adrian had a heated argument over her absence. Adrian, distracted and distressed, struggled to focus even when his friends visited. Meanwhile, Elizabeth continued scheming. After refusing to accompany Samantha to meet the senator, Elizabeth went to Adrian's house. She badmouthed Samantha and even tried to seduce Adrian, but he rejected her advances. As they talked, Samantha walked in, surprised to see Elizabeth. Elizabeth lied, claiming she was waiting for Samantha at the house. She then asked Samantha about her meeting with the senator. Samantha, feeling guilty, admitted she couldn't go through. The next day, while cleaning, Samantha felt nauseous and realized she was pregnant. She decided not to tell Elizabeth, suspecting her friend had been sharing her secrets with Adrian. Samantha rushed to inform the senator, unaware that Elizabeth was at his house. Hearing Samantha's voice, Elizabeth hid upstairs. Samantha revealed her pregnancy to the senator, who promised to involve a doctor to address the situation. After they left, Elizabeth immediately informed Adrian about the pregnancy, adding that Samantha and the senator were planning to terminate it. Adrian confronted Samantha about the alleged abortion, but she fled in fear. Distraught, she sought comfort in the senator's arms, lamenting that Adrian had discovered the truth. The next day, Elizabeth visited the senator, who was furious. He accused her of betraying Samantha by revealing her pregnancy to Adrian. Although Elizabeth initially denied it, the senator rebuked her, declaring there could never be anything between them because of her deceitful nature. Samantha returned home to find Adrian drunk. She cleaned him up and covered him with a blanket. The next morning, she served him coffee and attempted to explain what had happened, but Adrian refused to listen. He informed her that he had filed for divorce and that she would hear from his lawyer by noon. Samantha begged him not to give up on their marriage, but Adrian ignored her pleas. Later that day, Samantha met with Elizabeth and confided in her that the pregnancy was actually Adrian's. After a scan, she confirmed it without a doubt. Elizabeth pretended to be upset that Samantha hadn't told her earlier, prompting Samantha to apologize. The following day, the entire family gathered, including Samantha's father and Adrian's mother, to plead with Adrian to reconsider his decision. Despite their efforts, Adrian refused to explain what Samantha had done, stating only that he was no longer interested in the marriage. The lawyer revealed that Adrian had filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity, shocking everyone. The revelation caused Adrian's mother to cough up blood, leading the family to rush her to the hospital. Elizabeth visited Samantha at the hospital, where Samantha revealed that Adrian's mother had cancer and required treatment abroad, which would cost 50 million naira. Elizabeth was shocked by the amount, but Samantha resolved to do whatever it took to save her mother-in-law. She even put her car up for sale in an effort to raise funds. During this time, Samantha's relationship with Adrian remained tense, but she assured him that she would not abandon his mother. Adrian insisted he would handle it himself, but Samantha stood firm, calling herself a good woman who would fight to save her mother-in-law. Meanwhile, Elizabeth attempted to rekindle her connection with the senator. Although he initially accepted her apology, he eventually asked her to leave. Elizabeth refused and continued trying to charm him. Samantha, realizing that her savings were insufficient, called Elizabeth for advice. Elizabeth discouraged her from reaching out to the senator for help. Later that day, Samantha sold her car at a lower price than she had hoped, but she managed to raise 11 million naira. When she told Adrian about it, he rejected the money. However, his friend encouraged him to accept her help. Ignoring Adrian's response, Samantha deposited the money at the hospital. Adrian received a call from the doctor, who explained that a 25 million naira deposit would be enough to fly his mother out for surgery, with the balance payable afterward. Adrian called Samantha to discuss it, but she had already gone to see the senator. Upon arriving, she found Elizabeth with him and felt betrayed. Hurt, she left without waiting for an explanation. That night, Samantha prayed earnestly for her mother-in-law's recovery. Adrian joined her, and they consoled each other, vowing to face their challenges together. Samantha's father later called her over. When she arrived, he asked for her account number and transferred a substantial amount of money, explaining that he had been saving it for his future grandchildren, but knew her mother-in-law needed it more urgently. Overjoyed, Samantha thanked her father and shared the news that she was pregnant. Her father was delighted and prayed for her and the unborn child. After her surgery, Adrian's mother recovered and returned home. She noticed Samantha's growing belly and asked if she was pregnant. When Samantha confirmed it, Adrian's mother rejoiced, dancing and calling Adrian to celebrate. That night, Adrian questioned Samantha about why she kept the baby despite everything. Samantha assured him that the child was his and promised to prove it with a DNA test after the baby was born. Adrian admitted that he still loved her despite everything and agreed to work on their relationship. Samantha vowed never to repeat her past mistakes. Shortly after, Adrian received a call from a company offering him a job. The couple celebrated their renewed hope and love. In conclusion, love is a beautiful thing, and we shouldn't turn away from it when it comes to us. However, friendships can be complicated, and it's essential to be cautious about whom we trust with our secrets. Marriage requires sacrifice, understanding, and forgiveness to thrive. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this amazing channel for more interesting, captivating, and educational Nigerian movies. Stay tuned.